Hello and welcome back to MERAKI'S method. Last time on Gold Making for Casuals we looked at Ogrimmar vendors, and if you'd like to check that out you can do so in the playlist that we have linked above. Should be in the cards up there somewhere. Today however we're going to look at part 1 of a very light, very easy, very simple TradeSkillMaster tutorial, and the first part is going to cover the website here because I think that's a very overlooked part of the TradeSkillMaster suite, but still a very important part. So first of all, what is TSM or TradeSkillMaster? It's an add-on for World of Warcraft that will take your gold making abilities to the next level. It has a little desktop app. When you install it, it's an in-game add-on. There's a little desktop app, companion app that goes with it that helps the in-game element of it stay up to date in terms of prices, and then there's this website here. So it's a 3-part suite, and that is what makes it function as well as it does. It covers everything from auctioning, buying, selling on the auction house, flipping things. It can cover crafting, gathering, mailing, literally anything you could possibly want to do in terms of gold making. It has it covered. So we're going to go into all those different aspects one at a time, just so that it doesn't get overwhelming, because it is quite a big add-on. It does cover a lot and it can feel overwhelming. So we're going to break it down into bite-sized chunks. We're going to go bit by bit and we're going to keep it super simple. So the first place you end up when you go to the TradeSkillMaster website is this page here. And as I said before, I think this website is underused in terms of its functionality. Most people come here just to install the add-on, which is up here in this top corner. They click on that page to install the add-on. They pick up the version of the add-on that they want, if they want it for retail, if they want it for classic, and there's the app helper, which is the little desktop app I mentioned, etc. And that's it. They then never come back to the website again unless they're having an issue. But I think the website's a lot more functional, a lot more useful than that, so we're going to look into some of those functions today. If you don't already have the add-on installed, like I said, you can go to that install thing there, install tab there, and you can install it. The first thing on this main page here is the latest blog post, and the latest blog post here talks about some of the issues they're having at the moment. As we all know, Dragonflight completely overhauled crafting, and that caused a lot of issues for TradeSkillMaster, as a lot of their functionality is to do with crafting. Issues that they have not fixed, by the way, currently, so just be warned. They are working on it. That's what this blog post says, and that's what this blog post covers. They're working on different systems that are going to help them work around the new Dragonflight crafting, and different things like that, different UI alterations and things that are needed. So while TSM's not working at its best right now, they are working on it, and I have heard that this is out in the beta very soon, if not already. Now if we go back to the main page, the other thing that's down here is this group deal notifications. So these are set up somewhere else, that we're going to cover in a minute, but once you have them set up, they will appear up here. So as soon as you go to this website on any given day, any deals that you've set up notifications for will automatically just pop up there, and you'll be able to see them straight away, so that's super handy. The next thing here, we've done the install, we've covered the install option. The next thing here is the getting help. This is the customer service forums. They have lots of FAQs, and they have on here, they have frequently asked questions about the add-on, frequently asked questions about the desktop application, and frequently asked questions about the website itself. And they have included a bunch of different guides from different YouTubers and content creators online that have made very extensive and useful guides on this. So if you want to know even more about TSM, you can find a lot more of those guides here, and then they have popular articles down there. So that's where you'd get help. So going back to our dashboard here, the next one along is the blog. Again, that will link you to the same place as this blog here. The next thing along is the ledger. Now this is very useful. You obviously have a condensed version of this in the add-on in game that we're going to look at next time, I believe. But this ledger you can access this outside the game. And it basically will show you can have your retail, your classic, your Burning Crusade classic. You can select these different options up here. You've got your dashboard here, which gives you a rundown of a summary basically of the last 7 days. I've obviously not been doing an awful lot the last 7 days. Life's been a bit manic, to be honest. I'm selling a lot of silly little transmog bits. I sold a bunch of this crafted dreadful gear yesterday. Don't know why, but someone was obviously looking to fill out their collection. And then it tells you which groups are doing best. Like my vendor recipes obviously does pretty well, and a few other things are doing pretty well in there as well. And then you can go down to revenue. Now you can change this revenue data. You can pick any specific date range that you want, or you can do the last 7 days, the last 14 days, or the last 30 days, or you can do the current month, the previous 3 months, or even this reset, which is like Wednesday to Wednesday, or last reset, which is Wednesday to Wednesday. So depending on what group you want to do, you can change that up there at the top. Property is you can check your individual items. You can just look at individual items, or you can look at your actual TradeSkillMaster groups if you're trying to see which groups are doing better than other groups. Just like that. You can look at your profit metrics. If you want to look at your profit, which is probably what most people are looking for, you can. But say you're interested in your sale total, like how many items, your sale quantity, how many items you're actually selling, how many you're buying. So if you're trying to gauge how many you're buying versus how many you're selling, you can look at those. There's lots of different metrics there you can use. And you can also change this graph from a line chart to a bar chart depending on what way appeals best to you. You can search particular items if you would like here down in dimensions. You can search particular items, or you can filter by particular groups. So there's my account and my other account, and in them I have all the groups that I have in my TSM set up for each of those accounts. Or I can filter by character, so it's showing you both of my accounts and all the realms, so you can pick which realm you want. Where's mine? Go down to Argent Dawn, there we go. There's all my characters, so I can pick look at what any particular character is selling. This character's not selling anything because I literally never use them. But yeah, you can pick if you have several characters selling things and you want to see who's doing best, you can use that. And down here you have a source, so if you only want to look at your auctions, you can click that. If you want to look at your cash and delivery, your trades or your vendors, you can select all of those different parameters. In this next one here, you have your add-on data, so it's telling you just data about your different add-ons and your different profiles there. And then last and not but least, you have your groups. It's going to take a minute to export all these. So basically it's like every group. This is not just for your currently active profile, this is for every profile that you have on your TSM, and you can upload this data and export them, etc., etc. So the ledger is a very useful tool, and it's there. Next one. After that, you have this little drop down menu, and this is called auctions. And the top one is perhaps my favorite use of TradeSkillMaster website. It's the black market auction house. So it does give it a little minute to connect, and then it will tell you what's on your black market auction house that day and how long is left on that, and the current bid, the current minimum bid, and the realm and market global price, and how many is on your realm AH. So if you're buying things off the black market AH to resell, that will show you if it's currently worth it. For this, it seems like it would be currently worth it for this captured firefly. It's only 2,000 gold at the moment. It's currently selling for 250,000, and there's only one of them up. So that might be a little steal you can go in and get, and it saves you running all the way to wherever the black market auction house is these days. The next one is another useful one. It's called Great Deals. So there's no great deals on my realm right now apparently, but normally it will come up with a list here of if there's any good deals on your realm that it's found, it will come up with a list, and you can then export this list. It comes up here with all the IDs, the item IDs. You can export that list and paste it into your TradeSkillMaster add-on and search for it and buy them out. If you are paying for the premium, if you're paying TradeSkillMaster Premium, which is I think £15 a year, there's automatically built in, I'll show you that when we get to that part of the add-on, but there's a built-in button in the game, so you don't need to export this list because you can just click a button in the game and it'll automatically do that great deal search for you. The next one is pet comparison, which is a very useful little tool if you're not keen on using other external sites and want to keep everything fairly centralized. This is not quite as good as the other pet comparison websites, because in it you can look at lots and lots of different auction houses, But in this one, it allows you to select. So I'm looking at Argent Dawn, EU Argent Dawn, and I'm going to compare that with my pet sell on Moonglade. And I'm going to look at the DB market. So it's automatically going to generate this up. And then I can see how much they're selling for on my realm, how much they're selling for on that other realm, the region market average, just in case that's of any use to you, and what the difference is. So the difference between my realm and Moonglade for the Abyssal Eel, for example, is over 8,000 gold. So I could buy it for 4, almost 4 here in my realm, and flip it for 12 on Moonglade and make 8 grand. So it's pretty useful if you have a bunch of extra pets or you're into pet selling. You can pick whatever 2 realms you're interested in looking at, and you can compare the different prices. And obviously you can sort them whatever way you want to. This is going to be your most valuable pet to pick up, is this Seaborn Spore. If you can pick up one of those, you can put in 200,000 profit. And pets obviously are not guaranteed sells exactly. They're not exactly flying off the shelves, but if it sells, that's a tidy profit. And it's fairly straightforward to sell pets like that. So that's a pretty useful tool. In groups, you have another drop down, and you can either go into create. While we're here, I'm going to show you how to create a group on from this website part. We'll go over this again when we come to looking at groups, but just so that you have an idea now in case you're trying to use this. So basically this is where you generate the list of item IDs. Now it'll automatically generate this list for you, but you need to be able to input the actual items. So if you go to Wowhead, you go to database, item sets, or items, let's go, armor, cloth, hands. We're just going to go really, really straightforward here. Oh, did we not go to items, cloth, hands? We did. Okay, so we've gone to cloth, hand, armor. Now we're going to want to filter it by when equip, BOEs, because we don't want to be looking at any BOP stuff. And then it brings you up this list of all these BOE items. So what you do basically is you just copy, scroll all the way down. We're going to do the whole page. Copy that, Control C for copy, and we are going to paste that all in there. Now, looks messy, doesn't it? Oh, it's going to take a minute because we put a lot in. You see, it takes it a minute, especially when you've done a whole page. But now it has generated all of these item IDs in here. So this is your group import string. So basically all you have to do now is copy this string. We put in too many items and it's having some trouble. It's having some trouble getting them all. But you copy that string and you paste it into your group, and then you have a group of all of the, just copy that whole string and you paste that into your TSM add-on, and you will have a group with all the cloth hands that are, that are BOE on that page. You might want to do this in several parts. Like that was only one page, so you might want to do that page, import that string, so you've got that page all sorted in, then go to the next page and import those. Again, obviously, if you want to break that down even farther and you want to, put different categories on that to make it more specific than rather just all BOE cloth hands, you can do that. If you want to then save the group as well, you can add in a group name. So this is cloth hands, for example, and you put in your description, and you can keep it private if you want, or you can leave it public, and then you can save it if you want. So if you are making a whole profile for yourself and you're importing just the things that you want to sell, so you've searched up the specific items that you want to sell, you've copied them all in here, you've got your string, save your group in case, God forbid, something happens to your TSM or you accidentally delete your whole profile or whatever happens, you can come back here to your saved groups and just re-import them super, super easily. It's just like an extra layer of backup. But we're going to talk about the app, and I'm going to show you how the app handles with the backups, which is really, really good as well. So you should never need to use it. I've never had to use it, but I do like having it because it's just a point of reference, and you can also share it with other people that way, and they can import them as well if they want to use them. So next thing in auctions is we've done create groups. That's how you create your own groups. If you're looking at other people's groups, and I'm not sure, you kind of see yourself here. It's an interesting experience importing other people's groups, because as you can see, not everyone names them super informatively. and you don't always know. This is tailoring dragonflight gear, accessories not included. That's a very well named and descriptioned group, but you can't be sure and certain everything's in there, because you know there's obviously an element of human error. Other humans have made these, so there is an element of possible error. Tailoring all craftable bags. Items showing as unknown are the chrono cloth reagent bag, simply stitched, etc. So you can, if you want. This one says all transmog, so I'm not sure. Item count 22. I have some doubts, but yeah. So use all groups at your own discretion. And then next is view my groups, so you can see the groups that you've made. There's the ones that, this is me getting very frustrated with things. There's vendor pets, Darkmoon Fair, replica items, just me making different groups for things that I was messing around with at one point. And then you can view top groups, which are the groups that are most commonly used. So those are probably your best bet, to be honest. But again, there is room for error there, so don't don't shoot the messenger. I'm just showing you where they are. And then you have professions, and this is very, very useful. So you can go into any profession that you have. Here's alchemy. It's showing you the quantity currently on the auction house, the current minimum buyout of that on your auction house, the current realm market value of it. So currently these are going for 50, but the market value is 70, and the global market value is 50. So they're actually going for closer to the global market value than they are for the realm's normal value. So you can basically just see here, and you can go down and you can see which ones are not on the auction house at all and have a high value as well. And you can sort by all of these different, you can sort by, if you click these different things, you can sort by those things. So this one has the highest market value. There's currently none of them on our realm at all. But if there was, that's how much it's worth, and then again for flasks, and again for potions, and you can do that for all of the professions. Blacksmithing obviously has a lot of different brackets you can look at, but so you can basically go through and see whichever profession you own. You can go and check what's worth crafting or not, if you want to do it that way. Again, when we get to crafting with TSM, a lot of this functionality is built into the add-on itself. But if you're just curious and interested in the stats and numbers and just want to take a look at what you're putting in your groups and things, it's a useful resource to have, to be able to see it all in one place like that, And then the last one over here is your account. Obviously you've signed up and have an account, I assume, for this. So you have your own app configuration where you can select your realm. I have got Argent Dawn and Moonglade, like we spoke about earlier. You can also choose realms in Classic, Wrath Classic, etc., etc. Then the next thing, you have your deal notifications. Remember when we were on the front page and we looked at those great deal notifications? This is where you set those up. Okay, so you put in your account and you put in the profile that you're looking at and the realm. And then it's basically going to show you all of your groups that have buying operations, that have shopping operations. And you can either tell it to give you a web notification or an email notification if you wanted to actually email you. And you can basically tell it to do all of that. If we go into web notification here, and you can turn them on for whichever ones, like Pandaria herbs, like those, shopping metal. Let's go into Pandaria metal, upgrade those. What other metals? What other metals are good? Cloth, Pandaria again, I think. I make a lot of the stuff that was in the Panthers and all those things that came out with Pandaria, so I need a lot of Pandaren elements. So I'm going to turn the notifications on for all of those, for example. The no longer available items, I'm going to turn that on. I'm not going to turn on grey junk, and I'm not going to turn, well actually I'm going to turn on, no, I'm not going to turn on any of that. So you've turned on those web notifications, and then if you go back to the front, now you can see that it's telling me from those groups where those good deals are. Yeah. So I can total of 7 items are on my watch list that are currently up for a good deal. So setting these up is very useful. Once you've got your group set up, you can either have it email you, or you can have it literally ping on that front homepage there if that's more useful for you. I don't like the emails because you end up getting a lot of emails, so I prefer being able to just hop onto the website and see the list as it is there. So and then your backups, you've got your backups in here. Now these backups come from the desktop app, but this is just keeping a record of them. Yeah, and you can go through, pick a particular one. Like if you get all your settings set up, you get everything perfect, I would come in and make yourself a backup of that setup, just in case something does break. You always have that safe backup to go back to. Okay, next thing down here is current deals, which again is just the home page of where that, and then I showed it to you on the main page. That's the main page is just a little snapshot of this. If you want to go to the full page, this is where the full page is here in current deals. And again, this full page has this export deals string that you can just import into your TSM in game and pick those things up. Again, if you want to pick a specific item, you put the item in here, the quantity of them, and you can, and then again it gives you the export deals as well. Again, so next thing is manage item notifications. So these are the item notifications that I currently have set up. To add a new one, you search for it above and fill in the form under deal notification. I'll show you how to do that in a second. If you're looking for specific items, the one that we looked at before, the current deals, that was looking at your actual TradeSkillMaster groups. But if you're looking to put a notification on a particular item, if you're looking for a particular mount or anything, or a particular reagent or whatever that you're always buying, you want to put a particular item on that, you can do that. These are ones that I set up ages and ages and ages ago, so I don't even know what the situation is with them anymore. So you can set those up, but this is where they show up. Also, it's got here the Undermine journal. So what you can do is you can actually go to the Undermine journal, if you've ever seen this one, and we're going to cover this in a bit farther down the line when we get through with TSM. We're going to look at some other goal making resources, and this is one of them. But if you go into the deals category and you see this list of deals here, they have this little TSM, very hard to see, but this little TSM button, if you click that, it gives you that little string, and then you can then put that little string in there. Okay, so after that, you've got your account details. I'm not going to click into that because for obvious reasons. You've got again another reference to your groups, and you can log out. Up here, you can select your realm. If you use different realms, you're going to want to swap between them using this. I'm only on this one really, so I don't. And then again up here, you've got your you have got your search an item. So you can basically search any item in the game. So I'm going to search for gun, just because we're just bringing up a random gun. So we're going to bring up this silver-plated shotgun. Okay. On the item page, it has, again, you can link to it on Wowhead, you can link to it on WowDB, you can go to the armory or link to this page, or get a link to this page, as it were. And down here, this is what I was talking about before. This is your notifications. So you say Argent on EU notification is to notify me when there are one item of this posted below 2 gold. Yeah, and then you click save or an email notifications if you want to turn those on, and then save. If you want to say if it's a pet, for example, that you're looking for, and you want a notification if it shows up anywhere on the EU, and you'll just make an alt, then you can do this all EU notificate all EU. So you can notify me when there is one below whatever price you want, 2 gold, anywhere on the EU, and save that. And then down here at the bottom, if it is a crafted item, down here it will show you what the materials are and how much those cost on your realm at the moment. So it's very useful. And at the very bottom here, obviously, you can enter your email address to subscribe for updates and changes. You can see their Twitter feed down there at the bottom. Yeah, so that is TradeSkillMaster. I hope you found this useful. I hope you get some use out of this website as well. And I will see you next time when we are talking about the actual add-on in the game. Until then, friends, bye.